Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with an update here. It's been a while since I really looked at my display cases, and I'm in the process of cleaning them out and fixing up some stuff and rearranging some things. So figured I'd just take a casual look at all the setups. You know that I keep my main display cases centered around all of the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures. So I'll go through them cube by cube and just chop it up with you guys for 10 minutes or so. And I hope you enjoy. All right, let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
So up above I have the DC collectible, well not DC collectibles, but the DC Mattel RC Batmobile. And I use this a lot in displays. Well, not a lot, but pretty often. It lights up, has sounds. There's Deadpool's Vespa. I don't know why that's there. I'll be cleaning that up. A $2 bill that I found. And then some of my Transformers here that one day I'll take 7 hours to transform and get them into a display with them all in robot mode. Someday. Alright, so first cube, upper right hand corner. I have the Rocket Raccoon Build-A-Figure here. This one's not really finished. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this particular Build-A-Figure. Usually I'll put the Build-A-Figure in and center something around that Build-A-Figure with some of the regular figures, but this was an okay looking Build-A-Figure, just small and limited in articulation. And then we got an updated version of that Build-A-Figure that wasn't really a Build-A-Figure as part of the Entertainment Earth Guardians of the Galaxy box set. And this was a more like updated comic look for the face, which was cool. And I have him paired up with Angela, which is probably one of the best female Marvel Legends figures, and that same group, in a group from that same box set. And then a couple of more Groots in there. I think this one was the first Build-A-Figure, maybe. Yeah, I think this was the actual Build-A-Figure. And Rocket Raccoon, I don't remember what wave he was from. Maybe it was the same one from this Build-A-Figure. And this Groot, I think, came in a package by itself with a little baby Groot in the pot, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty much still based on the Build-A-Figure, but it came in 2 parts in that package. You can see he's got the smiling face. But like I said, this is unfinished. I'll see what I do with this cube. And then I've got the Space Venom Build-A-Figure back to back with the Walgreens exclusive Agent Venom. Maybe I'll do something else with Venom. I still need that Monster Venom that comes single pack. That's based on the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure, which I'll show shortly. But that's all sort of like Guardians of the Galaxy related because Space Venom was part of this team as well. So I'll see where I'm going with this. And then randomly I have the Blastar from the Thanos Imperative box set. That was an SDCC exclusive. Technically not a Build-A-Figure, but just a bigger figure that I never put away. And we'll see where this cube goes. And then in the cube below, we have the Iron Man 2 Ironmonger Build-A-Figure. I believe that was from the Iron Man 2 Hasbro imprint. And then Crimson Dynamo on the right was from the first Iron Man movie, if I'm not mistaken. And then Titanium Man, the green dude, was from the same wave where you were able to build Ironmonger, I believe. I'm trying to do this off the top of the head, but I left some space back there for the new Crimson Dynamo, which I don't have any of the figures for that particular Build-A-Figure yet, but I did leave space in this cube that I'm still putting together. And then I got a little mashup here. This little display is kind of centered around the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. I'm thinking back to the Thunderbolts days, and so that's why I have a partial Thunderbolts team there with Moonstone, Miss Marvel, well not even Miss Marvel, but Moonstone, Songbird, Bullseye, Matt Gargan, Venom, and then you see I got my makeshift Norman Osborn with the old Toybiz Norman Osborn head. Maybe I'll update that to the new Norman Osborn head that comes as part of the Green Goblin and the retro SpiderMan wave. And then some old Toybiz scrolls there, so that kind of takes us back to that era right before Dark Avengers, and Norman was feeding scrolls to Venom, so that's kind of what I had going on here. And right below that I have a sort of Spider-Man themed cube. So this is the Lizard Build-A-Figure, which I'm trying to build another of because I want to maybe customize the head on the second one. I think I'm almost complete with it actually. I got Silvermane in here, which is not technically a Build-A-Figure, but it could be considered a Build-A-Figure, especially considering the fact that you need to put this head on some other body if you want him with a body. You know, they got him on a little RC car, remote control car, but I've always kept him in the main display somewhere. And there's the Demo Goblin Build-A-Figure, which I don't have up on the stand. You can see the stand behind him. You can see some of the extra parts that come with some of these Build-A-Figures. I keep them in here with the Build-A-Figure, so if I want to do any ACBA with any of these, I can get to their parts easily. And I also try to keep doubles together. So the SDCC Sandman, which was technically not a Build-A-Figure, but it is a Build-A-Figure because you can pull it apart like the Build-A-Figure that was released later in the same year that you see there with the interchangeable arms and parts. And there's the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, which you can actually swap the head off of this guy and make him and use him as one of your X-Men villains, and he would be Shadow King. And I think I do want to build another Kingpin as well, just so I can have a separate Shadow King, but we are going to get that Kingpin in the retro Spider-Man wave later this year. And then here's the Rhino Build-A-Figure, and you can swap out this head and add shoulder pads to him to give him a more modern look, I believe, or maybe it was the Ultimate Rhino look. And in the lower cube, the very bottom cube, I've got 3 Mandroid Build-A-Figures. One of them is actually incomplete. And I've got the more modern Shield Agent Nick Fury here, and the older female Shield Agent as Maria Hill. And this one in the front was customized where the neck peg was shaved down a bit so you could fit a head in there. That's the old Shield Agent head from Hasbro, that first version that they put out. And that's pretty cool. And one of the Mandroids is missing a leg, so I got him ACBA stand right under the arm, holding him up. I actually do have a few more parts to build, maybe 2 more of these, but I'd be okay with 5 that are complete. And there's the Age of Ultron. Ultron, maybe at some point they'll retool this, because it's a good sized Ultron as far as him being like 7 or 8 feet tall. But, you know, it's the MCU version. We need a classic Ultron. And here's the MCU Hulkbuster from Avengers Infinity War. And this was the first version. They released another version that was already intact, if I'm not mistaken. That was like a UK exclusive or something like that. It was better paint. Definitely looked less toyish than this version. I never picked that one up. I think I still do want to get him at some point. And Hulkbuster was Mark 44, so I've got the Mark 43 Iron Man here, just kind of checking out the Hulkbuster. And finally, the Giant Man Build-A-Figure. Like I said, it's not really a lot of rhyme or reason to some of these cubes. I just put things in where they could fit in, and then maybe add 1 or 2 things around them. So I don't really have anything around this particular Build-A-Figure. Maybe I'll add the tiny little wasp to his hands or something like that, the Marvel Universe version. But to this day, I still think this is one of the best Build-A-Figures that's ever been released from Toybiz, from Hasbro, from any line. Still a really nice Build-A-Figure. And this one was very hard to complete, and it's even harder to complete nowadays. And I actually have 2. I have another one that I use more so for displays to kind of pose up that's not in the greatest condition. And then this one I just kind of leave in my main display. And in the next cube, going left on the bottom, some sort of monster characters here. Some of the bigger figures, only 4 in here, but Dragon Man is not necessarily a Build-A-Figure, but he is a highly coveted and highly sought after bigger figure from the old Toybiz days. And because I still have him in really good condition, I just keep him set up in my cube here. I actually have bought this figure loose. It was brand new, but it was loose from a comic shop somewhere across the country. I don't know. I had got in contact with the owner, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Solid Snake had like set that deal up for me, if I remember correctly. But definitely one of Toybiz's nicest figures, no question about that. Still holds up as a very nice figure next to any new Hasbro figure for sure. Hasbro's going to have a hard time topping this guy. And then the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure, which I think is a really nice Build-A-Figure that's pretty slept on. But if you never picked this guy up, I would recommend that you do. It's really nice. and the Wendigo Build-A-Figure, which looks really good, but I was a little upset with the lower torso, sort of the pelvis, and how the legs connect. It's hard to get him in anything dynamic without the legs kind of popping off. So, you know, he looks great in a vanilla stance or, you know, in something that's not too dynamic, but as far as really getting him into dynamic poses, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. What they could do down the line is release some additional head sculpts with different facial expressions and some interchangeable hands, so that way if you try to get multiples of these, then at least you'll have some different hand gestures and head sculpts to kind of give your display a little variety.